Hello classes, this is Dr. Fisher. Let's talk about the success measures. How in the world can we do these success measures? So you're doing it here, of course, in a chart, which I hope you looked at this video before you tried to do the paper, because in all honesty, this will make more sense once you get it down on the chart. Then I would suggest doing the paper. So let's talk about success measures. You are only working in this column. You're going to work on the goal measures of the goal, the purpose measures of your purpose, and then the outcome measures of your outcomes. You're not going to go down there to the bottom to your inputs until we get to inputs, which is under week 6. So don't worry about inputs right now. It's mainly success measures column, goal measures, purpose measures, and outcomes. How do you do that? We're talking about measurement. So let's just say you're trying to lose weight. You've been working out. You're eating right. How can you measure whether or not you're being successful? Most people don't want to do this, but the truth is you got to go stand on what? A scale. And the scale will tell you the truth. It's not a liar. It's just going to tell you the emphatic truth. You might not like it. You might like it. Who knows? And you may have very little progress, but that scale is a measurement of letting you know where you are as it relates to your progress of trying to reach your goal. Okay, see, so that's the idea here. So this is a goal measurement of my goal. My goal is students practice academic integrity. So how can I measure that? Well, at least 80% of the student body should be practicing academic integrity. All right, that's one measurement. All right, another goal measurement would be, by the end of the fall of the 2017 semester, I'd like to see 80% of the student body practicing academic integrity. Does that make sense? Another way I can measure it is with pre-assessments and post-assessments. A pre-assessment, that's a test that happens at the beginning of the semester. Let's find out where are students as it relates to their knowledge of academic integrity on the first day of class. Let's find out. And then at the end of the semester, a post-assessment or a post-test, let's test them again to see, okay, now that we've been teaching them, now that we've tried to spread this around campus, where are they now as it relates to practicing academic integrity and their knowledge and skills? Okay, so those are just a few measurements. Now look, I do not want to see just one measurement in here, because one measurement is not enough. All right, there are other things we can do, going back to that illustration of trying to lose weight. Other than getting on the scale, you can also get some measurements of your body. I would do a pre-measurement first, which is what they do when you go to the gym. If you get a personal trainer, first thing they're going to do is ask you to step on a scale. Let me measure you. Now, let me work on you a few weeks. Then we're going to come right back to that scale and we're going to measure you again. So you got to have more than one assessment. More than one measurement in here. I want to see at least 3 or more. In short, pithy statements, I do not want to see a long paragraph. A long paragraph does not tell me a goal measurement. I need just short, quick, straight to the point, pithy statements. I want at least 3 or more. All right, so for your purpose, notice my purpose here as an example, increase student awareness of violating academic dishonesty. All right, so that was my purpose. So how can I measure that? Well, look at the course objectives. For every course you take here at CBS, there are course objectives. And those course objectives, those are the goals we want you to reach in the course. Now, the problem is you don't always reach those goals. So we have to make sure, okay, well, where are the gaps between where my students are now and where they need to be, and how can I close those gaps? So one way of doing that is to look at the course objectives. Another way of doing it to measure increasing student awareness is assessing prior knowledge of our students. Yes, this kind of repeats what we said up here, but I don't want you to repeat everything. We could use that here as well. Okay, same thing. Another one would be to increase student awareness of violating academic integrity is to give students an anonymous student survey, especially when you talk about the subject of violating academic dishonesty. Y'all, to be honest, if we told students, hey, I want to give you a survey, I want you to put your name on it, I want you to tell me everything you've done as it relates to violating academic dishonesty, do you honestly believe people are going to come clean? Yeah, I know we at a Christian college, let's just tell the truth. All right, tell the truth and shame the devil. Not every student is going to be honest, but if we say, hey, this is an anonymous student survey, guess what they do? They let their hair down. They're going to let it all out. because they know, well, nobody knows, so I'm going to just go ahead and tell the truth. That's how it works with surveys. Trust me. It works not only that way with Christians, but it works the same way in the world. All right. Online discussion boards, like in our online courses, we can talk about violating academic dishonesty. We can bring about that awareness, getting students to really understand that. And then there are other things we can do. We can put signs up around the campus. We can put scriptures up. Hey, we can put scriptures up, letting students know, hey, this is not good. This is sinful when we talk about violating academic dishonesty. So it's a lot of different ways we can measure, getting students to have an awareness, right, of violating academic dishonesty. And so then here's the next section. Now notice I got a whole bunch of outcome measures for my outcomes. And I want you to have the same thing. Just like I had 4 purpose measures here for my purpose, I want you to have a bunch of outcome measures for your outcomes. Now, so my outcomes here, students develop an understanding of plagiarism. Well, when? Okay, at the beginning of the fall semester, there should be a pre-assessment. Once again, I did that again because I want to find, that's a way of measuring. You can't really go wrong with that pre-assessment, right? And even a post-assessment for that matter, you can still do the same thing again here because I want to see, did the students develop an understanding of plagiarism? Teachers can create grading rubrics, to help students. Teachers can develop assignments that bring about an understanding of plagiarism. Another outcome over here, students can differentiate or tell the difference between dishonest and honest academic practices. Teachers can provide unannounced quizzes. Teachers can create real-world scenarios. It's a lot of different things that we can do to help students tell the difference between dishonest and honest academic practices. And then students understood intellectual property. So all of these can pretty much be aligned to pretty much any one of these 3 outcomes. Just make sure everything that you put over here to measure, think in terms of measurement. Remember, going back to that scale or using a tape measure, you want to use something that's going to measure whether or not, hey, are we meeting this outcome? Same thing here with the purpose measures. Are we meeting this purpose? How are we doing? How can we do that, for that matter? How can we meet that? And then with your goal measures, same thing. How are we going to meet this goal? And so you're hitting that, you're hitting that time and time again with all the different ways you can think in terms of measurement. So you're only doing success measures, goal measures for your goal, purpose measures for your purpose, outcome measures for your outcomes. We'll do the input measures, which are down there at the bottom. We'll do those last. Don't worry about that. That is not this week. It is only your success measures, goal measures, purpose measures, and outcome measures.